Achiame Nananum Nenanan Himanum, class of 2020. Mama Iku.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, joining us from across the world. Welcome to the 16th commencement ceremony of Ashesi University, the first of two virtual ceremonies we will be holding this year to celebrate the achievements of the class of 2020 and the class of 2021. It was our wish to hold today's ceremony physically on our beautiful campus and meet all of you in person, but the exigency of the time has made it impossible for us to congregate. Nevertheless, we are connected with you and live in your homes using technology to navigate this new normal. The second half of your final semester had to be moved online due to the COVID-19 pandemic and its resultant lockdown of the country. This posed a lot of challenges to you, but you braved the odds and completed your courses successfully. On behalf of the trustees and the board of directors of Ashesi University, members of the executive team, faculty and staff, the chiefs and people of Brekusu, the alumni, students, and the entire Ashesi community, I congratulate you, class of 2020, for your hard work, innovation, discipline, and consistency. I commend your lecturers and the administrative staff for their dedication and support. I personally have a special attachment to the class of 2020 because my daughter Lillian Annie, who was in kindergarten when I joined Ashesi 19 years ago, is a member of this graduating class. And it's a great feeling for me and my family. I want to use this opportunity to specially thank all parents, guardians, families, and friends who have made sacrifices and supported their wards in this endeavor. Congratulations. And now, I would like to invite the Provost of Ashesi University, Professor Angela Osuansa, for the opening reading.
Congratulations, class of 2020. You blossom amidst disruption, graduating in the year of a persistent pandemic which laid bare many systemic injustices, a globally acclaimed social injustice, I'm referring to George Floyd, and a seemingly unreasonable virtual senior capstone. Yes, amidst disruption, Ashesi kept you focused on completing your degree as scheduled and with rigor. What was the point of, let's say, math, which, by the way, every Ashesi student has to take, when after all you were stepping into a future of disarray, uncertainty, and volatility? Or were you being equipped to brace that future with a hope, a purpose, and a responsibility? The excerpts I'm about to read come from a doctoral thesis, yes, a doctoral capstone on mathematics as one tool to understand social injustice. In theorizing about critical math, a Danish mathematician wondered if a notion of math did indeed have formatting power. That is, math is not neutral. He used an example from a project conducted with elementary school students in Denmark to determine if math could be used as a form of empowerment. The project was the Family Support in a Society program, which tackled child benefit support for various types of families in Denmark. In this project, students were tasked with creating an algorithm to determine what factors would impact how their districts should award child benefit support to families. He asserted that indeed math could be leveraged as a way to interpret and to understand features of our social reality. He further indicated that math should ensure social responsibility for marginalized groups and should enable students to respond to any situation they find themselves in, though the form of response was not specified. That is, he did not bring to bear other types of knowledges that are also important when understanding social issues. Indigenous knowledges such as the philosophies of African symbols and thought were ignored. Let's take Sankofa, the Adinkra symbol of a bird looking back, which comes from the Tree people of Ghana, West Africa, and roughly means going back to retrieve what was lost. When Sankofa is considered in critical math, with African epistemologies, it requires that we embody Sankofa by rethinking thinking, a process that requires learning to unlearn in order to relearn, deconstruction and reconstruction, or rediscovery and recovery, imagining other possibilities, and lastly, taking some form of action that is appropriate. Then there is Ubuntu of East and Southern Africa, which is born out of the philosophy that community strength comes off community support, and that dignity and identity are achieved through empathy, generosity, and community commitment. Furthermore, Ubuntu is a humanist perspective rooted in African thought that allows us to shift from I to we. Archbishop Desmond Tutu explained further in his autobiography this powerful concept of Ubuntu. He says, Ubuntu is very difficult to render into a Western language. It speaks of the very essence of being human. When we want to give high praise to someone, we say, you nobuntu. Hey, so-and-so has Ubuntu, and means then that you are generous, you are hospitable, you are friendly and caring and compassionate. You share what you have. It is to say, my humanity is caught up, is inextricably bound up in yours. We belong in a bundle of life. We say a person is a person through other persons. It is not I think, therefore I am. It is rather I am human because I belong. I participate, I share. A person with Ubuntu is open and available to others. Affirming of others does not feel threatened that others are able and good, for he or she belongs in a greater whole and is diminished when others are treated as if they were less than who they are. I will end as I began. Class of 2020, perhaps mathematics might be just one tool people can use to understand social injustices, but it can be quite incomplete in itself if it does not build on the notion of other knowledges, responsibility, and action. Congratulations, class of 2020. May you continue to blossom.
Thank you, Provost, for those beautiful words. Thank you so much. I now have the privilege to invite the class speaker, Joachim Asare, to give his remarks.
Nananom, members of the Ashesi community, distinguished guests, fellow graduates, ladies and gentlemen. I, Joachim Asare, am most honored to be the voice of the most elegant, vibrant, and audacious class of 2020. Imagine having trekked for hundreds of miles on a desert and being given a glass of cold water. You don't sip it. At that moment, you may gulp it down, stopping short of swallowing the glass because you were thirsty. This is how I picture the emotion that class of 2020 feels in our hearts today. After a long trek of learning, here we are receiving a glass of cold water. And that glass holds our pride and sense of fulfillment to have come this far, and have come as far could go with the undergraduate degree journey. To look up and see yourself past the finish line alone is joy unspeakable. Our journey is not yet over, and indeed, the Ashesi education has made us ready for the eternal work of impact. But today, we must pause to drink this glass of cold water. Just think about it. It's Sunday about a year ago, and you have gone through all your emails for the weekend, or so you hope, checked on all class messaging groups, and perhaps even gone further to make some phone calls to Eugene, Nanama, or Zoe, just to inquire whether indeed you have no assignment due. Think about it, how relieving it is when this Ashesi Trinity tells you that indeed there is no assignment, yet there is still an uneasy peace within you. Is this real? Should we be watching out for the late night assignment shocker from Dr. Ama, or prepare for an OLI and all-night FD group meeting that will take up the whole day, and you find yourself at your weekend instead of having enjoyed a weekend? Although I am the one saying it now, I am speaking what many are thinking. Ya ble, ya ble. Now, we have always been in uncertain times, but the last year has been more uncertain than most. With the unexpected invasion of COVID-19, how scary it was that in those early days last year, and how often we attempt to humor ourselves by saying that by June, dear. Our educational systems face a Herculean challenge, mainly concerning the continuity of classes and community. And at such a time, Ashesi University led the charge as we transitioned online, confident enough to finish classes on schedule, and totally denied the COVID-19 pandemic any chance to stop the path of completion we were on. This was a reminder to us all that come what may, Ashesi would always make a way. Especially this last year, I could not be prouder to be part of this community. And the unforeseen events that have led to this ceremony being held virtually, after waiting a year with the hope of hosting in person, is a lesson to us all that learning to live and thrive within uncertainty must be our norm. Ashesi has taught us in the ways only Ashesi can. The stories we heard of this place while we were just high school students piqued our interest. It was the fairy tale land children dreamt of going to see. We would not appreciate how intense the educational system was here until we arrived. All we heard prior was that there were opportunities all over this place. Oh, and wait, and Wi-Fi. So I joined the bandwagon. I applied as many do. Nothing would deter me from coming to this paradise, I said to myself. And here was I in the bakery making bread with my mom, only to receive an email prompt on my phone that I had gained admission into Ashesi and had been selected to be a MasterCard Foundation Scholar. Fast forward, here I am today. In the future I fantasized about a few years back. Becoming an Ashesi student used to only be a wish. Now it is a wish granted. But in this paradise, the streets were not paved with gold. They were paved with sweats and hard work of generations of Ashesi. The hard work that became the success stories we heard about before coming here, and that we continue to hear about today. We learned of many who had made the Ashesi trek and received their cold water glasses. And we, class of 2020, were determined to join them And so we showed up. The likes of Reginald were undeterred. Our very own Mr. Versatile, who sold anything and everything on this campus. His floods of advertisement to our class were incomparable to Google's interruptions with ads on YouTube. And then there was Mr. Music Man, Sebastian Dake, who combined his rigorous coursework with the position of the Assistant Music Director of the Tema Youth Choir. And not to forget the messianic traits of Samuel Mason and Melinau, Ronaldonic abilities of Philippe Friye, Alex Morganic skills of Nanama, all Lebronic skills of Sam Fodjo and Masateru. Neither can we ignore the fashion sense of Herman Duce, nor wizardry projects by the likes of Orakin and Jeremiah. When it mattered, we showed up. And as we reflect on our individual and collective journey, we see our sweat and hard work on the streets of Ashesi as well, helping strengthen this paradise we came into years ago. And now, having had these opportunities and proven ourselves, there are a lot of things that we may believe should come easy to us. But we also understand that the world does not give to you what you deserve. It often gives to you only what you fight for. We also understand that it is not a million opportunities that will allow us to become successful. It will most likely be making the most of one. To my peers, cherish the relationships you built here and let us transform them into strong networks. We had friends that kept us from falling, peers who saw ahead and held our hands. For me, I'm ever grateful to my dream study group that actually never met. Otima, Joshua, Efriye, and Irajwa, thank you. Otima, who took minutes at our meetings, is now a growing data scientist and also doubles as the co-founder of SheCan, a community that encourages ladies to pursue careers in tech. Joshua, the group leader and the one responsible for optimizing our meetings, is now a software engineer, building mobile applications to make our lives easier. Irajwa, who organized the meetings, is now an excellent automation engineer who builds softwares to automate industrial plants. Efriye, who shared practice examples, is now a PV design engineering professional innovating the new era of our transition to renewables. Our next phase of life is one where everything we have learned, all we have been equipped with, and all we have garnered will be put to the test. Where we cannot hide behind grace as markers of success, nor behind age. No matter how different, every challenge you face is a question, asking you whether you believe in who you claim you want to be. From today, we are no more Ashesi University students. And not even by an inch have we moved from the student status, because the world is a whole school on its own. We apply the lessons learned and we never stop learning. We will live by the words of Thomas Edison and tell ourselves in difficult times, we have not failed 1,000 times. We have found 1,000 ways that would not work. And we'll live by the words of Edwin Cole and tell ourselves that we do not drown by falling in water. We drown by staying in there. Those who fall, clean up and move on. Because as long as we have a dream, an ambition to reach, we can and must keep moving forward. That is the spirit. That is how we earn our space at the top. This is what our time here at Ashesi has taught us. And that is what we carry into the world. So class of 2020, get your second glass of cold water. This time, let's relax and drink. After all, if we know jam, to what avail is this whole experience? Congratulations, class of 2020. We made it.
Thank you, Joachim, for those great remarks. I now have the honor to invite the president of Ashesi University, Patrick Ewa, to give his remarks.
Hello, class of 2020. What an incredible year we've all had leading up to now. We're proud of you for the resilience and courage you demonstrated when we transitioned online just halfway through your final semester at Ashesi. When we closed campus at the time, we almost certainly had not thought that would be the last time we would see you face to face for a while. But thanks to work that started happening over a decade ago to move Ashesi's learning and community systems online, we were able to keep going. And you were among the first in Africa to be able to resume your learning in the earliest days of the pandemic. The question of taking the time to do the painstaking work that enables breakthroughs is what I would like to speak with you about on this your commencement day. Approximately 6 months ago, Pfizer, BioNTech, and Moderna both announced testing success for COVID-19 vaccines. The breakthrough use of messenger RNA, or mRNA, pioneered in these COVID-19 vaccines may now be the key to many other medical interventions, including the possibility of a future vaccine for HIV. The story of messenger RNA and the scientist who spent her entire career trying to convince the world of its potential has important lessons for us all. The human body relies on millions of tiny proteins to keep itself alive and healthy, and it uses mRNA to tell cells which proteins to make. Katalin Karikó, a Hungarian-born bioengineer, was convinced that if scientists could design synthetic mRNA, then we could, in theory, use the body's own natural process to create any protein we would like. We could, for example, develop antibodies to vaccinate against infection, enzymes to reverse rare diseases, or growth agents to mend damaged tissue. The key was to identify a way to introduce a synthetic mRNA without the body's own defenses attacking and destroying it before it could do its work. Katalin made it her mission to solve this problem. But for decades, she received almost no support. The scientific community had very little confidence in the idea. And for every research grant proposal she submitted, the answer she received was no. By the mid-1990s, with no funding coming in to support her research, she was demoted. Her pathway to full professorship at the University of Pennsylvania ended, and she was pushed back to the junior levels of the scientific academy. Along with this, she endured a cancer scare, and her family, her husband, remained in Hungary, unable to join her in the United States because of a visa issue. To many of us, this would have signaled that it was time to move on, to pursue another path. And Katalin Karikó probably had many moments of self-doubt, but she was persistent. And every time she questioned her path, she would tell herself, everything is all right, everything is here, we just have to do better experiments. And in time, she was proven right. Together with another colleague at UPenn, she would eventually make a breakthrough. The research paper, published in 2005, explained how synthetic mRNA could be introduced into the body without triggering an immune system response. The research went mostly unnoticed by pharmaceutical companies and funders until much later, when two scientists used the research as inspiration to start two companies. Those two companies, Moderna and BioNTech. In fact, in 2013, BioNTech recruited Karikó to join their team as a senior vice president to continue her research around the practical use cases for mRNA. And in 2020, when COVID-19 struck the world, and it became clear that without vaccines, the virus would not go away, Karikó's work helped bring some of the most effective vaccines to the world. Now, I tell you this story because the story of Moderna and Pfizer, BioNTech, COVID-19 vaccines is sometimes told as the story of how scientists were able to create a vaccine in less than a year. The truth is, however, that it was a culmination of 40 years of work, of commitment, resilience, and belief. It is the story of how a few people, choosing to focus their life's work on game-changing solutions, can sometimes make all the difference in advancing the world forward and transforming billions of lives. And if you look into the foundations of much of the breakthroughs in the world today, from healthcare to energy, transportation to telecommunications, you will often find many stories just like Carico's. Stories of people and teams dedicating their life's work to transformative solutions and eventually making a breakthrough. On this day, with all that the past year has taught us, I considered it essential that we reflect on stories like Kathleen Carico's and the lessons they carry for how we choose to invest our careers. Especially for you, class of 2020, with all the years you have ahead of you, this may be one of the best times to reflect on what you want to do with your life's work and what you want your life's work to stand for. And my challenge to you, class of 2020, and to the thousands of Ashesi alumni out in the world today, is that you find work that will have enduring impact. When we welcomed you to Ashesi in September 2016, I remember saying to you that Ashesi's mission to transform Africa and its people is not just something written on a piece of paper. It is written in our minds, and most importantly, it is written in our hearts. My charge to you in 2016 was that you allow that mission to be written in your minds and in your hearts as well. Over the past 2 decades of Ashesi, there have been many people who have invested their lives' work into helping you understand this mission and to gain the skills to pursue it. Their work has touched generations of students that came before you and many that will come after you. Faculty, administrators, members of our boards, advocates, and donors have chosen this path and made it their life's mission because we believe in you to be the generation of leaders who will transform the African continent for the better. Despite all the challenges ahead of you and the barriers you will inevitably have to overcome, the opportunities to pursue game-changing work are many. We believe in your potential, and 4 decades from now, we know that the stories they will tell of game changers will reshape the world through quiet, diligent work will include your stories, class of 2020. So we wish you Godspeed as you begin this next phase of your journey. And once again, congratulations on achieving this very important milestone in your life.
It is my singular honor to present Lisa Opoku to you as the guest speaker for this ceremony. Lisa is the Global Chief Operating Officer and Global Strategist for Goldman Sachs. In her current role at Goldman Sachs, she has oversight for the firm's technology management and finance functions. Lisa also serves on the Engineering Division Executive Leadership Group and firm-wide Technology Risk Committee. She is also co-chair of the Americas Inclusion and Diversity Committee and is a member of the Goldman Sachs Women's Network and is sponsor of the firm-wide Black Network. Additionally, she is a member of the Board of Advisors of Launch with GS, Goldman Sachs' $500 million commitment to invest in companies and investment managers with diverse leadership. Over to you, Lisa.
Thank you, honorable guests, to Dr. Patrick Awia, the president of Ashesi University, members of the board, the faculty and staff, the Ashesi community, and to the parents, families, friends, and graduates for inviting me here today. It is a tremendous honor to be the commencement speaker for the Ashesi class of 2020. I have to start with one caveat. My heart goes out to each and everyone who's been affected by the pandemic, and I pray that all of you and your loved ones remain safe. I'm not blind to the facts and circumstances of COVID. As a family, we suffered directly, but I am deliberately not talking about COVID today. The fact that this event is taking place in 2021 is just minor evidence of the disruption. But I have decided that COVID has taken enough of our attention. So you're going to get a COVID-free commencement speech today. I'm inoculating this speech. I have a deep admiration for Patrick, his life's work, and his story. Patrick went to America. He was educated at Swarthmore University, worked at Microsoft, and came back bearing gifts. Ashesi being the most incredible of his many gifts and his legacy. My own father, Emmanuel Opoku, also came to the United States to get his education. My dad was not from the royal family, but he grew up in the Ashanti Palace. His father was the chief of police for the Ashanti King. In 1962, my dad earned a scholarship to study overseas. In those days, Kwame Nkrumah was the president of Ghana. President Nkrumah had come to study in the US, and he encouraged others to go overseas, get educated, and come back with what they had learned. My father was deciding between London, England, and Minneapolis, Minnesota. His best friend was going to London, his brother was going to Minnesota. He decided to follow his brother Stephen. He chose family over comfort. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with Minnesota, it's a beautiful state in the Midwest. It is well known for having 10,000 lakes and very nice people. But it is cold. And I mean the kind of cold that makes your fingertips numb, your eyes water, your teeth chatter, that kind of cold weather that actually makes you angry. I know this anger very well because I remember standing at the bus stop as a 5-year-old being angry. I would stand there and ask God, why did my dad choose to leave the equator in Ghana and go to Minnesota? It's cold. He doesn't need 10,000 lakes. He doesn't even know how to swim. Why didn't he go to London? But I grew up in Mounds View, Minnesota. My name is Lisa Fudjua Opoku. My family calls me Ajua Fudjua. I was named after my grandmother. My mother, Janet Opoku's mother, Elizabeth Ajua Fudjua Jechi. Growing up, we were a close-knit family. Both of my parents modeled hard work. My dad was an accountant. My mom was a midwife. My mom used to work 16 hours a day for the first 10 years of my life. They believed in having a strong work ethic. My brother Steve, my sister Carol, and I were also taught that education was everything. Strangely, I don't even remember any direct conversation with my parents about education. I just remember this kind of constant threat in the air, like getting a bad grade in our house was a sin. I'll never forget one semester in junior high school getting 8 A's and an A-. When I showed my report card to my dad, he said, if you could get 8 A's, you could get 9 A's. I said, Dad, but the A- was in gym. He said, that was the easiest class of all, and that education was a privilege. Throughout my childhood, my parents had this view that we were visitors in America. We grew up with this same mindset. It was similar to the way you're supposed to behave when you're a kid visiting somebody else's house. Don't touch anything, make sure you say please, thank you. We were guests. We were living this life in Minnesota that felt temporary to them. Ghana was home. When I was 8 years old, I recall asking my dad, why are bandages pink? He told me, because they don't make them for you. They don't even think about you when they're making them. You are not from here. I forgot to mention something else about Minnesota. Besides the cold and the nice people, the population was also not racially diverse at all. In fact, it was almost totally white. I guess that's why the Band-Aids were pink, to match their flesh, not mine. I had visited Ghana when I was about 2 years old, but I don't remember that trip. So I was a bit confused by my parents always telling me, we are not from here. but I could also sense it through the subtle Band-Aid-like messages. As a child, no one on TV or in politics looked like me. None of them. None of my teachers were ever Black. Not one. In my school, there was me, my sister, and one other Black student named Perry. That was it. There was no Oprah Winfrey back then, no Barack Obama. But everything changed for me when I came to Ghana at 12 years old. I remember so well, we landed at Kotoka Airport, and your relatives would greet you at the airport. There was this awesome rooftop area where they could look down at the planes landing and wave at you. You could see their eyes squinting at you as you walked down the steps onto the tarmac. I was mesmerized from the moment I stepped off the plane and into that 90-degree heat. As I walked into the airport with our bags, there was a huge sign over our head that said, Akwaba, which means welcome. Being in Ghana, it was quietly affirming to look around and see people who looked like me everywhere. All of the food that we ate in Minnesota that was so strange to my friends there, kenke, kantumle, and katakwine, but in Accra, they were staples. I didn't have to explain the difference between a plantain and a banana to anyone there. I absolutely loved it. On that trip, I found out where I came from. My mom is from a village called Warasu, just outside of Kumasi, near Kumawu. My mom's history is fascinating. Her mom had her older brother, Kwaku Eseedu, and then she was infertile for 16 years. She was given a fertility doll and finally had a baby after 16 years of trying. Imagine the joy my grandmother, affectionately called Majua, had when she finally had that baby girl 16 years after the birth of her son. That baby girl was my mother, Ama Mfum. Mfum means surprise. The story of her birth was legendary, even today. My mom was then blessed with a baby brother named Kwame Adu Achampong. Unfortunately, when I arrived in Ghana, my mom's older brother, the one 16 years older, had already died. But when I got there, his children were waiting for me, Sister Boatima, Charles, Felix, Ernest, and Elizabeth. So when I came to Ghana, my uncle Kwame was my anchor, my mom's younger brother. He always called me Liza. For some reason, the S sound never came out of his mouth. His kids were Ima, Kentinka, Kwesi, Abwaji, Enima, and Jechi. It was clear that the way my grandmother loved her kids created this incredible bond between her three children. It spread from those three children to their children, my cousins. They were all inseparable. Family is everything among the Jechis. The year of the return for me was in 1984. It was the best thing that ever happened to me. I felt complete, not ever having been aware what was missing before then. In the US, many Black people deal with overt racism and internalized oppression. Ghana was the opposite. Here, for me, I found external validation, even exaltation. Kwame Nkrumah once said, "I am not African because I was born in Africa, but because Africa was born in me." I knew who I was from then on. I went back to America even more confident. I continued my education through undergraduate in Minnesota. When I applied to law school in 1992, I really didn't know how to choose, so I applied to all of the top 25 law schools. Soon after, an advisor told me, "You will never get into the top schools." Even though I was graduating summa cum laude with the highest honors, well, it was a good thing I had already applied because she didn't know who I was. I remember calling my roommate, Kylie, to check the mail. Yes, this was before your news came via email. In those days, if you were accepted, it was a big envelope with all the details about how to register. And if you were rejected, it was a small envelope. When I called Kylie, she said, you got a big envelope from Harvard. So she opened it and told me I had been accepted. I was with my parents at the time. My mom looked at me and said, even when I was in my village, I knew about Harvard. Who knew that one day I would have a baby and that baby would go to Harvard? Ironically, Harvard Law School was my Black experience in America. There were about 70 Black students in my class. It was the first time in my life I had more than one Black school friend, and it was an amazing community. I learned as much inside the classroom as I did outside. So many of my dearest friends are still those HLS classmates. I focused on corporate tax and went to practice tax law in Washington, D.C. When I entered into corporate America, I was back in the extreme minority again. I lived in Washington, D.C., which is known as Chocolate City because there are so many Black people there. But at work, there were very few, other than two incredible Black female mentors, Rhonda and Claire. In a way, I was back in Minnesota again. There are no ancestors for Black professionals in corporate America. We do have a few elders like Bayo Ogunlesi, Joseph Boateng, and Bernie Mensah, to whom we give the utmost respect. But the lack of ancestors sometimes creates the same feeling I had when I was back in Minnesota. We often feel like visitors when we should feel at home. I am immune to that feeling. I grew up being othered. My immunity, my Band-Aid, let me tell you, is not fleshy pink, it's Black. It's pride in my color and my culture and knowing how to heal when I am hurt in a way that's right for me. If I am in a place that is not accepting me, I will change the place. I will not change the Black woman that I am. The idea of going overseas is always appealing, but the streets are most definitely not paved with gold. I hope you all recognize that there is so much gold in Africa. 6 years into my career at Goldman Sachs, I was disappointed about being passed over for a promotion. I wanted to leave Goldman and move to Ghana. Thanks to my friend Edith, President Kufuor is a dear friend and mentor of mine. So I discussed my plans to return to Ghana with him. He told me not to move back to Ghana, to my surprise. He sent me right back to Goldman Sachs, and he lectured me with this Akan proverb about finishing the work. Ajuma ye sin ni akachwia. It means incomplete work has no reward. If you know President Kufuor, you know he has this incredibly brilliant mind and this booming voice, and when he talks to you, he shares so much sage advice, it's as if he's creating his own 21st century Akan proverbs. The wisdom and the tone leave you without any options but to heed his word. I listened to President Kufuor, and 2 years later, I was promoted to partner at Goldman Sachs. But his words still remain true. I still haven't finished the work. There is so much more I hope we can do together. President Kufuor had a dream for me. Through his dream, I am creating a beautiful network of people at Goldman Sachs, the ancestors of the future. Goldman Sachs now has an Africa recruiting initiative. We recruit from Ashesi. It's Patrick's dream. In fact, 2 of my Goldman Sachs colleagues are here and graduating today. Congratulations and Akwaba. Welcome to Goldman Sachs. But where would all of these students be without the faculty? We take off our hats in respect to each and every one of the professors, the lecturers, the staff here today. Thank you for your guidance, patience, and wisdom. To the graduates, you are all surrounded here today by loved ones. Whoever that special person is, the one who guided you across the street so that you would not be hit by a trotro, know that they were alive before you were born. They watched you grow, they believed in you, they invested in you. They know how special you are. Make sure you know your history. Make sure you know who you are. To every single one of you, parents, relatives, mentors, sponsors, who held that child's hand, worked hard to provide more than 20 years of education, invested in so much of your time and energy for your Ashesi graduate, thank you so much for your love and support. Thank you for your investment in these students. Your work is well completed. To the Ashesi class of 2020, each and every one of you is the dream of your mother and father, your grandmother, your grandparents, your aunts and uncles. It is not about getting great grades or degrees for your parents. It's about what you do with that knowledge. It's about how you finish the work that Patrick started. In Ghanaian culture, we pour libation at celebrations to pay respect to these great ancestors. The way you thank those who invested in you is by cherishing that ancestry and building your own legacy. Build a strong foundation for the generation after you. Please remember, your identity is an asset. There's an African proverb that says, dreams are the voices of our ancestors. Listen to them, learn from them. You were at Ashesi because you wanted to be independent thinkers. Most of us spend our lives in the back seat with someone else driving. It is your responsibility to take the wheel and take control of where you're going. I have profound joy in being here today. My mom's older brother, you know, the one born 16 years before her, his son Felix is here. And Felix's son, Kwabena Aseadu Jechi, is in this Ashesi graduating class. We are so proud of you, Kobe. You are the great-grandson of Majua, the son of Felix and Joyce, the sister of Mami, the nephew of Boatima, Charles and Ernest, the aunt and uncle of Jordan and Austin, and the realization of all of our dreams come true. To each and every member of the class of 2020, thank you for the joy that you have brought to all of us, witnessing your incredible achievement today. Never forget that we're all supporting you, praying for you. Kwame Nkrumah's dream was what took my father to the US. Patrick Owia's dream is what brought you to Ashesi. It is a dream come true for me to be here with you today. I ask you, what are your dreams? Where will your dreams take all of us? You are our great-grandchildren's ancestors. We are counting on you. Make us proud. God bless you.
Wow! What an inspiring message. Thank you, Lisa, for those encouraging words. I believe that the class of 2020 are inspired with this message as we parents, the staff and faculty, and the entire Ashesi community are inspired. Thank you so much. I now have the privilege to invite our Dean of Students, Abdul Mahdi, to present the Scholarship, Leadership, and Citizenship Awards.
The Scholarship, Leadership, and Citizenship Award is given to graduates who have lived out Ashesi's core values during their time at the university. These awardees have contributed in outstanding ways to Ashesi's mission and have had a strong impact on the Ashesi community. This is the highest award a student can receive at Ashesi and is presented by the president of the university. Our first awardee is not just graduating top 5% of her class. In fact, when you ask around campus about this person, you will hear words like leader and humble, highly driven and humble, diligent and humble, achiever and humble. She had a record of service on campus bar none. She's worked at Ashesi's library, admissions, career services, foundation of design and entrepreneurship class, coaching, counseling, and academic advising. And at each of these places, she left her mark of excellence. She was also very involved in student government and served in multiple leadership roles. Very athletic, and was nominated as the Athlete of the Year during her time at Ashesi. She led and served beyond the Ashesi campus. In Brekusu, she was involved with developing the design thinking method of problem-solving class to junior high schoolers. Beyond Brekusu, she researched and analyzed the legal and regulatory regime in Ghana and how STEM education can be effectively delivered in schools across the country. As a passionate advocate for women's issues, she worked to highlight the many high-impact women around the world in 2017 and spent 3 months later that year in deep policy lobbying and advocacy, working with a major women's rights organization in Ghana. Beyond Ghana, she worked with a national center that provided psychosocial support for children and youth from difficult circumstances. In 2020, just before she embarked on her Master's in International Public Management at Sciences Po Paris, she worked with the Morimi Initiative Leadership Empowerment and Development Program to deliver leadership lessons to their 2020 cohort of fellows. She goes by all these names: Madam President, a peer mentor, Madam Chairperson, Ashesi Ambassador. For so strongly representing the Ashesi ideals of scholarship, leadership, and citizenship, we present this award to Gomiso Persistence Chisi. Our next awardee is a very energetic member of the Ashesi community who had an incredible growth mindset and always sought developing opportunities through both her experiences and from her work with others. She pursued competence in multiple programming languages beyond academic requirements, as she wanted to develop a capacity to address a hearing impairment of a loved one. She hence embarked on various projects in this space, such as an application to enhance hearing for individuals who are hard of hearing using digital signal processing in Tassos DSP and Kotlin. Use Flutter to develop the first mobile application to teach Ghanaian Sign Language to prevent isolation between the deaf and hearing populations in Ghana. Developed an application using OpenCV to translate basic American Sign Language into text to improve communication between the hearing and the deaf in the community, and on and on. It is no wonder that she interned for companies both in Ghana and Canada and got into programs like the Google Women Tech Makers Scholars Program and the Norman Foster Foundation Robotics Atelier Scholar Program. When the first Ashesi Women's Leadership Program was held in 2019, her peers chose her as a model leader to serve on a panel to share her experiences with selected students across the country. She served as secretary of the Ashesi Student Council, a facilitator during the inaugural year of Ashesi Success course, a founding member of the Ashesi Sign Language Organization, and a fellow of the prestigious Melton Foundation Fellowship. She combined a sterling academic record with leading purposefully and graciously. For so strongly representing the Ashesi ideals of scholarship, leadership, and citizenship, we present this award to Zoe Tagbato. Our final awardee never ceased to excel beyond all expectations, both academically and socially during his time at Ashesi. An outstanding academic performer who maintained an almost perfect GPA in Ashesi's rigorous and demanding engineering program. His calm demeanor shined through in every situation. He rarely panics and showed an unwavering desire to learn and explore new horizons. He was very involved in many community initiatives and demonstrated a strong desire to create tangible and impactful social change in his surroundings. He was one of the early and most active volunteers for Bounty Initiative, which aimed to empower young women in Berkusu. He and others on the Bounty team established the Berkusu Community Library to promote reading in the community, especially among girls. He tutored fellow students in mathematics and engineering courses and was involved in mentoring freshmen in the Badia program as they tried to find their way in a community which is distinctly different from what they were used to in their high schools. He did not only explore and adapt in our incredibly diverse campus, he embraced it. He eagerly took up learning languages of other African countries represented on campus. He took part in an experimental farm project that explored hydroponics for farming and its possible introduction in our host communities. He joined friends in traveling to volunteer to teach in other parts of Ghana, and he happily savored every meal in a conscious effort to fully understand other people and places. These traits of global citizenship paved its way into the Melting Fellowship, a global network of problem solvers working together to transform the world. In 2018, this awardee was one of a very selected few students who spent the summer in the US to be part of a highly sought-after program, the Applied Methods and Research Experience, AMRE. This is an exchange program where Ashesi and College of Worcester students get the opportunity to apply classroom learning in a role of business and as organizational consultants, and where participants are exposed to practical applications of their liberal arts education in a real-world setting. In all aspects of his life, it was unmistakable, his thoughtfulness, his drive, and eagerness to share the best of himself with others. When Ashesi launched its partnership with the Arizona State University in the special 3+1+1 program, he was one of our first cohort of students in this accelerated master's program for high-performing students. And he represented Ashesi in Arizona with excellence in every aspect. For being so deeply involved in many things, for striving for excellence in all, and for doing this with such a gentle heart and an open mind, and for so strongly representing the Ashesi ideals of scholarship, leadership, and citizenship, we present this award to Major Kadonzvu.
Here at Ashesi University, we stand for three things: scholarship, leadership, and citizenship. I think it's really special that you've each been selected as exemplars of these three values of our institution. And so I'd like to extend to you my heartfelt congratulations for demonstrating these core pillars of Ashesi and being recognized by your peers and the faculty and the administrators of this institution as exemplars, even here at Ashesi University. Congratulations.
It's now time to officially confer degrees on our graduating class of 2020. And to do this, I will invite the president of Ashesi University and the provost to come and perform this function for us.
Will the graduating students of the Business Administration program of Ashesi University please rise wherever you are if you can? Will the graduating students of the Computer Science program of Ashesi University please rise wherever you are if you can? Will the graduating students of the engineering program of Ashesi University please rise wherever you are if you can. I, Angela Owuswansa, Provost of Ashesi University, present to you the graduates of the college standing at different places across Africa and around the world before you and others who are unavoidably absent and for whom I stand proxy. These graduates have followed the approved programs of study over the stipulated period, passed the required examinations, fulfilled all necessary requirements, and have thus become eligible for the academic degrees to which their studies entitle them. I pray for conferment of the degrees due them.
By the power vested in me by the Board of Directors of Ashesi University and the Republic of Ghana, I, Patrick Awuah, President of Ashesi University, confer upon each of you the degree of Bachelor of Science and admit you to all the rights and privileges of the degree. Accept my congratulations. I now invite department heads to read the names of the graduates.
So when a child is born, they learn to crawl at a point. And once they learn to crawl, they walk. And at that point, the world is really at their feet and they choose what to do. Congratulations, Ashesi's class of 2020. Today we celebrate you because you have gone through Ashesi's journey and you actually are at the point where you're walking and we are looking at you to soar. It's a great feat, and we know that the clouds can't even contain you. So go out there, shine, and be you. Congratulations. I am Sena Agboja Ajipong, Head of the Business Administration Department at Ashesi University. I'll be reading the names of this year's Business Administration graduates. Pearl Amokwandoa Abam, Derek Echampong, Aaron Echampong Ochre, Kezia Sherwa Akwa, magna cum laude. Lydia Adobia Dampare Ado, cum laude. Joy Angel Edem Adobo. Francisca Edu, cum laude. Gloria Adoma Edu Sarkodie. Mausi Richard Kojo Afun. Nana Ekwia Ejriba Agri. Diana Holali Ahiadeke. Hamdia Akayeti. Marie Dolores Ako Adronvo. Justin Ajiman Akowa. Margaret Aku Akufu. Adnan Alawiye. Dela Ajwa Alipui. Patricio Tony Amate. Benis Amenyo Aqua. Esi Chrissy Emisa Arthur. Geraldine Amoa. Warren Amo Ejari. Nicole Sheila Amoyanki. Elvis Kweku Amponsa, cum laude. Stephanie Ya Kari Anankwa. Kwabena Chumesi Ankra. Lillian Jasmine Aning. Mame Ansa Obiri. Angela Entry Boateng. Irene Owusua Asamoah Ejipong. Jacob Ni Late Ashon Metal. Efwa Somwa Kisi Esiama. Alusiba Ayisabe Asabiela. Brenda Esiama Apia. Maunyo Aveti cum laude. Inshiraba Awuku Jechi. Nana Ama Boatima Ayino cum laude. Jara Azaglo cum laude. Awotaime Constance Azong. Emmanuel Nana Akwesi Bediako, Gideon Kwame Bejira, Keisha Benson, Kweku Esumedu Buedi, Angela Buahene, Ama Osei Buache, David Boateng, Benjamin Kamal Jackson, Gumiso Persistence Chisi, summa cum laude, Raymond Munyarazi Shivere, Joseph Ata Kobna, Enyonam Awo Dagbe, Ruth Ayamga Danso, Claudia Esi Dentu, cum laude, Doreen Ajuasika Do, Hannah Ama Dokenu, cum laude, Sabelo Dube, Herman Duse, Emmanuel Mulageta Eteti, Reginald Etonam Emmanuel Kwame Fia, Samuel Adujemfi Fojo, Hannah Ajwa Forsen, magna cum laude, Barbara Fosu, Janet Foa, Esther Sewa Jao, Kwabna Jechi, Carol Achinebwa Hama, Marilyn Koteka Hammond, cum laude, Jennifer Hothman, Angela Kafui Hwanompe, Dejoy Sylvienne Ifashabayo, Mohammed Mustafa Jame, Enagnon Falon Kinzo, Sally Lenam Tremanting, Na Lamile Lawson, magna cum laude, Perpetual Mause Ya Likide, cum laude, Anne-Marie Mensa, Daniel Mensa, Na Lamile Ajwa Yaba Mills, Edith Violet Naisibu, Nazaretha Mawena Nyanwame, Nicole Nibo, Christopher Obiora, Odette Delali Ofosusiao, Deborah Esi Okai, cum laude, Priscilla Vera Oputi Paulo, Nancy Osato Orasanye, Kwame Jr. Osei, Nana Abna Nyako Osei Wusu, Benedicta Ansa Owusu, cum laude, Jerry Kojo Kuranting Owusu, Sally Peaches Owusu, cum laude, Rosalind Pepera, cum laude, Daniel Elikem Quest, Beulah Benyua Saki, Sharon Samson Oje, cum laude, Frederick Banahene Pokusakode, Francis Selom Senaya, Zethu Tenele Shabangu, Nanaya Serbo, Selassie Ama Suka, Patience Titus Glover, Kin Nyeko Toku, Nana Buediwa Chumesi Ampong, Abisiama Gladys Opon Johnson, Hakim bin Osman, Kokuvi Jack Wamegan. Congratulations, class of 2020.
Dear class of 2020, how I wish we were celebrating with you in person. You've been a resilient class, taking the unexpected in your stride, and you're already out there making waves in the world. We wish you all the best in your future endeavors. Please do stay in touch. We care about you. I'm Dr. Ayoko Kosa, the head of the Computer Science and Information Systems Department at Ashesi, and I'll be reading the names of today's graduates. We'll start with the Bachelor of Science degree in Computer Science. Priscilla Echampong. Ohima Ekuya Efriye Akoto. Nutifafa Kujo Amedio, cum laude. Benjamin William Andor Kesson. Belinda Asiedu. Sharon Adelaide Asomeni Wiafe. Nana Ama Boajiwa Atumbo Saki. Samuel Atule, magna cum laude. Kingsley Temison Besidone, magna cum laude. Finba Nana Esi Baini. Mami Efwa Orleans Boham, cum laude. Yao Dafor Butre. Nalamle Boy, summa cum laude. Mulif Chaplain. Kevin Kwesi Kafui the Youngster, summa cum laude. Jean-Sebastien Alexander Dovanan. Albert Nana Bafo Esilfi. Queen Ejewa Frimpong. Mohammed Hijazi. Sile Magagula. Viola Cheptanui Meli. Velma Kavayi Muhatia. Angela Musangi Munyao. Lillian Mbite Mukali. William Kojo Okran. Brandon Wayne Odibo. Sasha Emanuela Nana Ama Ofori. Daniel Ayomide Olukoya. Derek Osai, magna cum laude. Mami Ya Konedu Osei, magna cum laude. Samuel Selom Sapati. Zoe Delasi Tagboto, magna cum laude. Eyinawo Tanko, summa cum laude. Ernest Thankson. Ariel Aman Wood. Mustafa Tido Yusuf, cum laude. Tonyeli Joshua Zomelu. Bachelor of Science degree in Management Information Systems. Munira Esi Ejima Adam. Oswald Fifi Emisa. Kofi Entry Amwatin. Nana Yao Sasu Apia Miracle. Samuel Kofi Ntama Amohimson. Seram Precious Atichobui. Carl Yofi Imoru Ayana. Jesse Tete Ayeno. Temidire Levy Bakre. Derek Kenneth Bansa. Winston Chimbweze Best Iziani. Anita Boachi Yadom. Anna Boachi Yadom. Kofi Frimpong Boama. Kweku Kweyisi Bohini. Ursula Sarah Divine Kapo Chichi. Grace Letitia Na Odako Cleland. Marie Colombe Audrey Bacon Crowley. Sebastian Dake, cum laude. Papa Kojo Dafo. Nana Dichiwa Dick. Angela Aram Abla Gawuga. David Selom Kwesi Gebe. Ya Kurang Japon. Kofi Nete Hervey. Sadat Isa cum laude. Akosua Afaribia Kisiedu cum laude. Daniel Niama Laye. Joshua Obed Rashid Mahama. Janice Rionga Mimiembe cum laude. Kudakwashi, God knows, Ndevu Zemene, magna cum laude. Derek Mensa Nkwa. William Jewu Obese, magna cum laude. Michael Jewu Otre. Philip Kwabena Owusu Efriye. Oluwapeyi Bomi Oyelohunu cum laude. Eugene Nisaki Parker. Nana Ama Sechiwa Parker, cum laude. Percy Patterson. Perry Patterson. Judith Tewia. Adwa Amwaba Wilson. Rochelle Ifwa Koranting Urenchi. Congratulations, class of 2020.
Class of 2020, I wish to congratulate you. I learned many years ago that the heights by great men reached and kept were not attained by sudden flight, but they, while their companions slept, were toiling upwards in the night. And I believe you've just done that, working hard in the labs and in the classes to come to this point. Well done, and congratulations, and all the best wherever you go after this. I am Dr. Nathan Amankwa, Dean of the Engineering Faculty at Ashesi, and I'll be reading the names of today's graduates. Bachelor of Science degree, Computer Engineering, Juliet Fatima Abdul Aziz. Jason Mawina Kweku Agbogli. Raken Amen Reynolds, magna cum laude. Kelvin Ampene, magna cum laude. Emmanuel Yao Menu Ano. Ayabila Avoka. Isaac Benjamin Clement Owusu. Jude Asare Donko. Joshua Edem Gasu. Oswald Jaba. Alain Honore Kubuayo. Sybil Meselebe. Tarek Ni Pako Kwao. Nuna Elom Togo. Paul Owusu Yeboah Jr. Otima Yerenchi. Bachelor of Science degree, Electrical and Electronic Engineering, Gordon Jr. Adodi. Sharhan Mohammed Al-Hassan. Telisa Araba Amanfu. Wendy Amatele Amatefio. Charity Oba Efi Ampuma. Emmanuel Asare, cum laude. Joachim Edward Asare. Portia Piasa Ewa. Teresa Sujai Chidembo. Irajwa Kuranchewa Dadzi. Abna Menubia Dako. Jacob Amol Dio. Nanaidum Kwabnajan. Michael Tafajwa Gini, summa cum laude. Efriye Ajwa Kranchewa Frimpong. Kobina Imbro Fin, cum laude. Mukta Moronkola Hamzat, cum laude. Jifa Mercy Hode, cum laude. Major Takuja Kadonjo, summa cum laude. Helen Warimo Kanguyi. Sanuratu Kuroma. Stuart Tatenda Maposa Mangezi, summa cum laude. Andrea Ajoba Ewusi Mensa. Cyril Nanayao Mensa. Khadijatu Mohammed. Umuni Mohammed, magna cum laude. Audrey Varaijo Michuri. Masateru Honest Mwambo. David Katandi Oburu. Noel Obina Obuagu. Tofik Mohammed Osman, magna cum laude. Nanaya Pokua Debra. Nanekia Ajimansrebo, magna cum laude. Edna Yelipoi, cum laude. Congratulations, class of 2020. Bachelor of Science degree, Mechanical Engineering, Nene Donu Abayate, Frederick Kojo Chawe Akwa, Kofi Adai Boahine, Robert Boatindia, Susan Da Costa, cum laude, Ima Nanama Forsen, Mamadou Abdullahi Jallo, Emmanuel Fidelis Kashumba, Eleshiva Mimi Lustig, Theodora Mamle Matikoli, cum laude, Samuel Pakojo Mbir Mason, Joel Ofori Teko, Sibongile Sitole, magna cum laude, Jerema Paul Konedu Techi, cum laude, Aline Munyampundu Utuje, Melinao Koku Voto. Congratulations, class of 2020.
I now invite Nicole, the class representative, to present the class gift to your alma mater.
Dear invited guests, Ashesi community members, family and friends, and fellow members of the class of 2020. The year 2020 has indeed been a memorable one for us all, and the class of 2020 is grateful to be here sharing this day with you all. This class has indeed been on a journey, and it's a privilege for me to serve as class representative today and in the years ahead. My name is Nicole Sheila Amuyanki, and in keeping with the tradition of alumni paying it forward, I'll be presenting a gift on behalf of the class of 2020 to our alma mater. With the transition to online study, Ashesi financially supported distressed students and families in a variety of ways. As a class, with members that benefited from this, we wanted to see Ashesi continue to be able to help students in time of crisis for them and for the university's health as well. Collectively, we are donating a cash gift of 11,000 Ghana cedis to support Ashesi students' emergency financial aid programs. It is an example to this community that as we move forward, we will keep doing our best to support future generations of Ashesi students and alumni. Class of 2020, I want to say a very big thank you for your patience, care, thoughtfulness, and contributions. And I look forward to serving you all as class representative in years ahead. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, class of 2020. You are truly a unique graduating class. You are a blessed generation. You are special. You were thrown a curveball and you rose up to the challenge and came up trumps. You had to relearn, reinvent, recreate just about every aspect of your world to succeed, to win, to be a part of this graduating class. You are phenomenal. Know it. Own it. Let it seep into every aspect of your being. You will need it. Graduating is not an end in itself, but the door to your future. An uncertain future maybe, but full of opportunities. Opportunities that require heavy doses of tenacity, creativity, self-discipline, and an almost singular focus to navigate. It teaches us to embrace adversity, as it is always preparing us for bigger, greater things ahead of us. This is why I know you will succeed. I know you will face it head on and emerge victorious in all kinds of amazing ways. Because you've been tested, you have had an unusual chance to test your mettle. You have learned skills that normally would take years of experience to acquire, all in a very short time. You have succeeded in the most abnormal of circumstances. You are ready for a world that continues to shift under your feet. Use this creativity, resilience, newly discovered disciplines to create an amazing future for yourselves and for those coming after you. Don't be anxious. Be excited. You wanted freedom to think? You have it. You wanted a world without boundaries? You've got it. You wanted a world propelled by technology? You have it. Give yourself a chance to breathe, to explore, to dream, and then exhale. Step out. Don't forget to have fun, laugh a lot, make friends, work on the relationships you already have, but don't be afraid to make new ones. Be humble but confident. Be kind. Embrace life no matter what hand is dealt you. It will be tough, but so are you. You are tough. It would also be exciting. So get excited, get creative, get solving. Go and be the remarkable people you are. God bless you and crown your efforts with more successes. Congratulations, class of 2020.
I now have the privilege to invite the Alumni Council President and a representative of the class of 2010 to speak with the class of 2020.
Good morning and congratulations to the class of 2020 for successfully completing your bachelor's program. We are indeed very proud of you. We'd like to welcome you to the Ashesi alumni community. I want to assure you that Ashesi alums all over the world are willing and ready to support you as you jumpstart your career, be it the formal sector or the informal sector. Ashesi alums are there to support you. Please take advantage of the network of alums that we have all over the world to deepen the bond and strength of our network. Ashesi alums are knowledgeable. Ashesi alums are committed to the cause of their careers. Ashesi alums are dedicated to the jobs that they do. So you'll find some of the best professionals in Ashesi alums. Take advantage of it and take your career to a much, much bigger level. As you graduate today, we are proud to have you join the Ashesi alumni community. And to formally welcome you to our alumni community, I would like you to take a pledge with me. Wherever you are in the world as for this ceremony, please take this pledge with me. As a graduate of Ashesi University, I acknowledge my responsibility to the community and the generations of alumni yet to come. In the spirit of scholarship, I will continue to pursue and share knowledge with the understanding that there is always more to learn. In the spirit of leadership, I will hold myself to Ashesi's code of ethics and integrity, always taking responsibility for my actions and asking others to hold themselves to same. In the spirit of citizenship, I will actively contribute my work, wisdom, and wealth to this community and others beyond it, sustaining the well-being of Ashesi, the continent it calls home, and the world at large. Congratulations again, and welcome to the Ashesi alumni community.
Hello, class of 2020. On behalf of the class of 2010 and the entire Ashesi Alumni Association, I would like to say a big congratulations to you on this milestone achievement. We are really excited to welcome you to the alumni community. Around the same time this year, in 2010, my class and I were pretty much in the same position as all of you are right now. We're really ready to venture into the world, create change, with so many dreams and aspirations. 11 years down the line, we've been on different journeys and paths, ending up in different parts of the world. either creating change or driving change in different industries and professions, whether it's in IT, in supply chain, manufacturing, even the public sector, or even driving or contributing to national development through different entrepreneurial initiatives. The one thing that we all acknowledge is that the journey is rough, it's tough, it's really, really hard out there. Even with the high bar of the Ashesi education, it's a roller coaster out there. But not to scare you. If there's anything or any one takeaway you could take from those experiences, it will be that you don't have to go at it all alone. There's a vast array of different talents and experiences that is out there in the entire alumni network available to you. Sometimes it might feel like you are on the journey alone, but you don't have to go at it all alone. Tap into the network you have out there. Tap into the network that you built over the course of your journey in Ashesi, and even as you learn into this alumni network. You must have heard this before. The value of the Ashesi education does not end up on the hills of Brekusu. Now, it continues through the different relationships and the connections you build over time throughout the entire community, especially in the alumni network. So tap into the network, tap into this vast array of experiences, stay connected amongst yourselves, as much as possible, work out within the alumni community to be a contributor, and wherever you need help, feel free to reach out. As you're aware, the goal of the association is all about helping each other and ourselves to continue to develop and grow in the ideals and values of Ashesi, which we all hold dear to our heart. Okay. On the other hand, the association is still growing. It's young, relatively. We continue to challenge ourselves to give more in order to be able to get more out of it. And I must say, it is very heartwarming to see your class, especially to make various contributions towards the school. And I also use this opportunity to reaffirm the class of 2010's pledge to donate an amount of 50,000 Ghana cedis by end of this year to support the school and various members of the school who are going through hard times. This small step hopefully becomes one of many to come. And together with your class joining the entire Ashesi Alumni Association, I think I'm excited for the future, excited about what you're bringing on board and what we can all do together to help each other and to help the entire community. And with that, I would say Ashesi, class of 2020, big congratulations again, and we all can't wait to see what you accomplish. Thank you.
On behalf of the entire Ashesi community, I wish to extend my sincere gratitude to all of you for joining us for this ceremony today. I wish you all the best for the rest of your day. I now declare the 16th commencement of Ashesi University fully dissolved. Congratulations, class of 2020.
Congratulations to the graduating class of 2020. You just came out of the best university in Ghana and clearly one of the best in Africa. So you made it, and we are also very proud of you. As you continue on your journey, try to align what you've learned in school to your goals. So go out there and chase your dreams. Congratulations again, and I wish you all the best. Good luck.
Congratulations, class of 2020. It has not been an easy journey, but you made it. Ayiko, we are so proud of you. Our appreciation also goes to staff and faculty for being there for them, for being a shoulder for them to ride on. We thank you and we bless you.
It's been such a journey with Adubia. I remember when she said she was running for JEC chairperson. We all joked about it and said she has always been a politician at heart. But it was such a bold step for her, and we are happy and proud of her for the growth that she's been through. We thank the school faculty and staff for the effort. Congratulations, class of 2020.
Yeah, we thank God, man. Thank God. Congratulations to the graduating class of 2020. Your resilience during this period is going to take you far in your career. All the best and congrats once again.
Congratulations, Junior.
Hello, Ashesi 2020. Congratulations. You've done a good job, Joachim and his colleagues. We wish you all the best. You are leaving, but you are going out there to make Ashesi proud. Continue to shine wherever you go.
I remember when we came for orientation and this card was given to me, I was asking myself, when will 2020 come? But today 2020 have come and has passed. And I want to say, leave Ashesi campus and make Ashesi proud. Go and make impact to our world and bring development to humanity and into our society. Go and be a blessing to the world. Congratulations. God bless you.
Hi, my name is Margaret Japon. I'm Ya Japon's mother. Ya, congratulations. You made it. Even in the global pandemic, you made it. We are so proud of you, Aiko.
Esi Emisa Alpha. You burned the midnight candles, you shed the tears, and you won the victory. Congratulations. May God bless you in all your endeavors. And may God bless Ashesi.
Esi, you dearly loved. Wishing you all the best. Thank you.
Congratulations, Princess 3, on your graduation from Ashesi University. We thank God for how far He has brought you. We pray for His blessings for the rest of your career. God bless you.
Today, my wonderful audience, congratulations to you. We are very, very happy to see today. Congratulations again. My name is Franklin Nassari. I'm the CEO of TechGulf, and Ya is our model intern. We are very, very proud of her. So we celebrate this day with her.
Congratulations, the class of 2020. Congratulations, Gumiso. You made us proud. You represented your family and country so well. We wish you the best in your future endeavors. We also want to thank MasterCard for sponsoring our child. We will forever be grateful. Be blessed.
Hello everyone. Congratulations to the class of 2020. I remember the first day I brought my daughter Marie Dolores Akwadumbo to school. There were students from all other schools melting up in one place. I was wondering how things were going to work out for Marie to settle quickly and start her academic work. But a few years down the line, I see that things have worked out very nicely. You've all worked very hard, and I think you deserve whatever you have come out with. We are very grateful to God for bringing you this far. I wish you all the best in your future endeavors, and I know that things will be perfect as you step out of school. Congratulations once again. Thank you very much.
Congratulations to the Ashesi University graduating class of 2020. You've put in a lot of effort, and now it's your time to receive your honors. And a special congrats goes out to our daughter, Marie Dolores Akwadumbo. I remember the first day we came on campus, looked around the administration block, and then going to look for a hostel, and how cold it was at that time of the year, and she driving every 3 weeks or so from Tesano to Brekusu, the car breaking down once in the night, going through some of the difficult courses, but she never gave up. And that is what it is going to be like in life. Once you have your goal, just be focused and you'll get it. Congratulations to all of you.
Congratulations to you, the class of 2020. You have completed your school under serious and enormous difficulties under this COVID. I brought Robert to school and he wasn't very enthused because he had always wanted to attend university outside the country. But with time, he got himself involved and he's become a budding engineer. I remember the bright eyes when he completed and assembled the first drone and flew it. That was a real high point. A big congratulations to you, class of 2020. I wish you all the best in your endeavors and may your dreams come true. Thank you.
Hello, we are MCS scholars at the University of Edinburgh. And we want to say hearty congratulations to Edith, Violet Nesubi, and Michael Zini, whose academic and leadership exploits surely exemplify the ethos of a great school like Ashesi. Congratulations, class of 2020.